Hi guys, it's Colton Lindsay here with winningtheinnergame.com. Also, we've got superstar, Mr. Sold himself, Deric Lipski.
Hey, what's up?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
That's it. I heard about this place. What the ads were going to come on. It's really beautiful down here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What have you seen so far?
Good rib joint, and I saw the temple right behind it. Give him a shot of the temple over here.
Temple?
Yeah.
If I can see that in there.
I guess people come from all over the world to see this place.
Yeah, it's Temple Square here for the Mormon Church.
Yeah, a lot of weird looking people here though.
What are you doing here in Salt Lake, really? Not just hang out with me, I'm sure.
I'm getting pulled in for a conference, doing another corporate event, speaking. A company called Redx. They had me come down and get their sales force up and running, like other companies. You guys need some corporate sales help? This is the guy.
Mr. Sold, Deric Lipski. And I'll tell you, Deric is even better looking in 3D than he is 2D. So
You don't gotta tell me.
Sexy beast. I literally was bouncing dimes off his ass earlier. He's got such a tight ass.
That's right. I was catching him. No hands.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, what market you're in, and how long you've been in the business.
14 years in the business. I work in the Boston area, a little South Shore, a little under 700 homes sold under my belt, and just kind of known as a script master around now. And now I do a lot of motivational stuff. I coach people, same as Colton does, a little different. We do different sort of avenues, but yeah, just kind of everything and anything, really.
Perfect. So you're in Easton. Where's that located to Boston?
About 45 minutes south of
Okay.
Boston. Yeah, just like you're in. What's it?
I'm in Layton, which is just basically north of Salt Lake City.
About half an hour.
45 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, so out of the main city.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of wind on this. I'm actually doing this interview with the questions on my phone, so I'm gonna look down.
I just got to the airport. This guy picked me up.
Yeah.
Instead of there holding the sign.
Here's what was super cool. Two things that I saw Deric do really quickly, because you see him on his videos against tough expireds, he's like this big old tough macho dude.
Yeah, muscles, good looking.
So first thing is we roll up and there's a panhandler on the side of the road and he just rolls the window down and gives her a $5 bill. $20 bill. My bad, I thought it was $5.
I didn't know there was going to be a bunch of them. I would have took the 20, cut it, and made $5. I would have 4 people with 5. You know what I mean? They're everywhere out here.
And then right after that, we're crossing the tracks at what's called the City Creek Center in downtown Salt Lake, and I'm just being like a selfish jerk walking, and all of a sudden I see him literally walking a little old lady with her walker across the tracks there.
Yeah, she was stuck in the median behind. She was sort of like deer in the headlights, just stuck there. I was like, "Mom, you want some help, young lady?" Yeah.
Well, you know what blows my mind is like I just didn't ever expect that. Like, not that I don't see you as a nice guy, but like those are the first 2 real life experiences I had with you.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. It's based on the get by giving philosophy.
Yeah, man, just be nice.
Just give to people.
Yeah, grateful, gratitude.
So what's kind of your system set up now? Because you do. Oh, my arm's getting tired, dude. You might have to hold that.
Got it.
We don't have a selfie stick.
No, I know.
No selfie stick. Okay, so what's kind of you do a lot of coaching now with your sales business. So how does your structure your day look like?
Basically, Monday all day is just coaching clients. Tuesday through Friday is making my own calls. I'm still a full-time call like Colton. I work in my business, but on Mondays it's strictly geared towards clients. So I can only handle a certain amount of clients at a certain time. There's a limit I can do. You can only do so much in one day. But basically what I do is Mondays strictly for them. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, basically making the phone calls, getting appointments, and taking listings, making sold, stuff like that.
So do you have a team? Are you a one-man band or what?
Yeah, one-man band, cradle to grave. I do it all. I just kind of bang it out and
admin, everything.
I have an e-agent, so she does all my paperwork, so I don't have to learn the dot loop system in KW and all that stuff. I just pay her to do it. She does my marketing too. So
that dot loop is that a Keller Williams White thing? Because we have it here too. I've never used it.
Yeah, it's basically e-sign everything. So I honestly still have sellers sign, actually hand sign it. I know a lot of guys that don't do that. They do. I actually do both when now I'm thinking about it, but I would like to get it on paper just because that's the way I was raised. Just get on paper. I'm old school, I guess. But everyone does e-sign with iPads now. It came from California and worked its way this way. So yeah, it's all electronic sign stuff.
Yeah, we pretty much do e-signature. Besides the initial listing contract, everything's through.
Yeah, everything from there is fine. That's what I do too. But when the offer comes in,
contract, everyone's doing it on iPads.
A lot of guys go in there for even the listing. They'll go in there with the iPad and then they'll email it to their phone directly, and they have them sign it and email it back to them, so they have it right then and there, so they don't actually write anything. A lot of guys in my office will actually do that because they don't want to touch any paper anymore.
That's weird.
I haven't gotten that mindset yet. That's a good thing to do. but I haven't
Dude,
done
there's
that.
just to me something about handing a customer a pen and say, any questions, just sign the contract.
Oh, I make them hold the pen during the presentation. Like, you're going to hold this because you're going to use this later on. And I'll have them hold the pen and physically anchor them to get the idea of signing it.
How we were talking about some of your coaching clients earlier.
Yep.
And the challenges they have of actually just making the calls and going to work. That seems to be a universal thing with agents. What do you think the holdup is?
I think they haven't got to the point where they've actually made a decision and committed to that. They may have something else in the background that they're getting income from, the boats. Yeah, they have something that's holding them back that has caused them not to give 100%, and they haven't got to the point where they have to. Now, I came from the streets. No one else would hire me, so it was become a realtor or a panhandle out here in Salt Lake, but there's too many people out there, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah, there's quite a few panhandlers.
So I became a realtor.
I was telling Deric how they're actually trying to pass a law to make panhandling illegal in Utah. Yeah, so you'd be out of a job pretty quickly here then.
I wouldn't have lasted long. I'd have moved up to California.
Yeah, well, that's where all the panhandlers go.
That's our retirement plan.
So you do Mondays coaching, the rest of the week is phone calls, things like that.
Expired for sale by owners, withdrawals.
So that's what was my next question. Where's most of your business stem from right now?
It's a real tough market, but when I look back, about 60 to 70% of my business comes from the cold calls. The other stuff comes from signed calls or referrals, but the bulk of my business comes from those calls, so I never give up on those.
So you prospect every day?
Yeah, except for the coaching day. But
except for the coaching
and
day.
Even Saturdays, I'll come in and I'll be like, I'll go in for a few hours and see what's out there.
Yeah.
And cherry pick a few, or all.
So what's the next thing you got to get great at with you and your business? Because you kind of had like two sections, right? You got your coaching side and you got your sales side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through a big divorce right now, so it's been a real challenge for me for mindset. So my biggest thing is to get that completed so I can move on to the next stage of life, because that literally has held me back dramatically. My numbers went down. No one wants to say that, obviously, but I don't mind admitting it. It's the truth. It's just stuff like that physically affects you. You never know what life's going to throw at you. You can be the best at your game, and something comes along like that involves yourself, your family, your kids. You see everyone struggle through that. It really hurts your mindset. So this past 2 years, I've been working strictly a lot on mindset, and I've been doing very good with it.
What are some of the things you're doing with the mindset?
I listen to a lot of Tony Robbins. I mean,
E-Edge, or what's it called? Not E-Edge.
Ultimate Edge?
Ultimate Edge.
Ultimate Edge by Tony Robbins is a really good thing. I listen to a lot of motivational stuff. I work out a lot more now, get my aggression out. I'm starting Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a little more stuff just to kind of get my focus off.
You go to church on Sundays.
I do go to church. Yeah, church is a big thing in my life now too. My church is in Westwood. My girlfriend got me going to that again. We've been going a little strong for a year and a half, and that's helped a lot with being grateful and getting back to just letting some of that stuff go, an outlet to let it go.
That's one of the questions I've been asking a lot of the guys on my interviews is, what's your belief system spiritually with God, and how important is that in your overall business and life?
I think it's, well, like you saw today, I was always, I wouldn't say I was doing shady stuff, but I was always just pushing the edge. I was like Bill Belichick. I was always pushing the rules, and now I don't do that. I mean, from stupid stuff. Yeah, I was making great money, but I'd go to Shaw's and I'd put like 4 12-packs under the carriage, and I know that they wouldn't ring up, and I'd push it through, and it sounds so stupid that I do that, but it was just like that small, stupid things. Going to church has kept me away from that. Now I have money I give to charity. I give money I give tidings every week. I tell people I don't force anything down in people's neck, but I use a lot of the messages I hear from there. And actually use it in my coaching call. So I'll hear stories about the Bible, and I'll be able to apply those to my coaching call for that week.
Well, I think there's something just said about, like, you need great trainer, you need great successful person. They come from this place of serving other people, right? Yeah. And we can get so caught up in this business, especially the income that we earn, of just getting selfish. And bored. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been on the phone and heard the same story, and I'm just like, Jesus, I'm sick of hearing this. But that's my job. Our job is to hear. We know what the story is, you know, and we got to call them. And I don't want to step. It's so easy to say, well, I know you want to say this and try to speed the conversation up, but you can't even do that. You have to listen to everybody, give them their time, be generous with time, and be grateful for the business. Well, I think that's pretty powerful. The whole concept of listening to people, right? Really engaging. We've got these. You guys have seen me look at my phone several times, or you're out with friends or family, and how often are we just?
I make it a rule after 6:30, 7 o'clock. I don't answer the phone if it rings or not.
Where do you put your phone? What do you do to make sure you don't do that?
I just stick it wherever. I just don't look at it.
Okay, so you just get it out.
Almost my whole career, I haven't really worked weekends, and I'm usually home by 6:30 or 7 o'clock, unless I have an appointment where I have to go out there. And I've made great money, but the reason why I can do that and why Colton can do that is because we prospect every day, so we can make our appointments. We determine our schedule. I don't jump to the phone when it rings. I don't have to anymore. A new agents do that, and other people who don't prospect do that because they have nobody to get business. When you call and make business, you can predict where you want to go and when you want to be. You create your schedule. You don't let someone create it for you.
Well, that's what
I do to put out fires. Don't get me wrong, here and there, but it's not.
Well, there's always fires.
There's always fires, right? There's always fires.
Well, that's one thing I've got really good at developing the last 24 months is okay. I meet at 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock.
That's it.
Right. That's it. And if you'd be surprised at how many people will actually say, you know what, actually, 5 o'clock will work, or I'll come home early from work, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we've actually started shifting, I should say we as an I, to focus on how many in-office listing appointments can I start getting, right? My goal is
have them come to the office.
Have them come to the office, so it's more efficient than have to drive out there.
Of course it is.
So that's my goal.
That's a challenge.
To 40% of my appointments, hopefully, to get them in office.
I've never had one come to the office. So I've always gone to them.
Yeah, it's been
a whole new mindset.
It is.
Because people like to imagine the objection is going to be, you haven't seen my house yet.
Yeah, well, and how we've got around that is like when Garrett, our marketing director, delivers the pre-list packet.
Yeah.
We're having him start to do a quick maybe preview of the house, take a few shots and a little video, and we can sell them the idea that we've seen the house ahead of time. Right. So it's kind of cool. It's thinking a little bit differently. I was going to ask you, as far as your how many of your deals are buyers versus oh snap, fumble. How many of your deals are buyers versus sellers?
I'm probably 80-20 sellers.
So mostly sellers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That actually, if I did more buyers, you would imagine my schedule for the weekends and at nighttime wouldn't be so flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and most of my buyers actually are my sellers.
So you don't
I always show my property. If a buyer comes, he's qualified, I qualify him, but I don't just jump at the phone when someone says, hey, I want to look at a house, and they don't want to give me the information. I'm like, well, go find someone else because I'm not the guy.
Yeah, so you're going through, you ask your questions, they either give you the answers you need to meet with them, or they don't give you the answers.
Yeah, if they don't give the answer, like if you're pre-qualified, you're happy to show someone. If I say, can you bring a pre-qualification letter or the pre-approval letter to the listing when we go there? Well, I don't like to show people. Well, then you're not going to get in the house. Yeah. If you're trying to hide that, what else are you trying to hide? I don't even get involved in that.
Have you always been that way, or did you have to shift your mind to
no, I got that way after training with Ferry for a while. Ferry was real strong and buried that in my head that I should be doing that.
How long did you coach with Ferry?
9 years.
So 9 years.
9 years with Ferry, 2 years with Robbins, a year with Floyd Wickman, and then a couple.
Dude, you got some Floyd Wickman in you, huh?
Yeah, I got some Floyd Wickman in me. I wish I didn't. He did some program called Sweat Hogs.
Oh, you were around when Sweat Hogs was around?
Well, I mean,
they heard stories of that.
Yeah,
well, it's been old.
I am getting 41. Be 42 this year. Is that?
Him and Ferry actually started out as business partners.
They did,
right? And I think they kind of had a program like Sweat Hogs, or I don't know how it all.
Yeah, he went one way, he went the other way. They had a disagreement and they separated ways. Both dynamic things, and a lot of things are the same. And the language just changed it around. The same kind of questions, just put in different order.
Looks like Ferry's
same thing with Keller Williams. You go to Bold or you go to any of those programs. I mean, most of the stuff I've seen from those programs are pretty much a watered down version of Ferry, Tony Robbins, and Floyd Wickman. Yeah, just kind of blended together.
The Bold program itself, it's basically, in my opinion, the duplicated version of Sweat Hogs and what Mike Ferry did with his 8-week training course.
And if you ever train with Tony Robbins, you'll see a lot of his stuff.
Even the scripts are the same thing.
Just reworded, a little different. So they could. Well, they had to do that because they would get copyright, and Mike's very adamant about suing people if they find it copyrighted. Yeah. So you'd had to make sure they copied. They had to change it just every word because you can't own a word. You know what I mean? Which
is funny because Mike Ferry's scripts aren't all that great. I mean, they're good.
Well, they're good. They're really good if you're beginning. And I always tell my coaching clients, like, use whatever scripts you want. Some people choose those, and I'm like, those are actually good questions. It's the framework, but it's what they don't teach you. It's what's in between those questions that are
it's getting your own voice.
Yeah, it's having your own voice in there.
We talked about that. We were talking about role play partners earlier when we were at lunch, and you kind of hear these robots. They watch our videos.
Yep.
And they almost try to mimic, you being super aggressive Boston type character or a laid back type. I'm more of a laid back.
Yeah.
And
East Coast, West Coast.
You've got to be able to develop yourself. right?
Well, yeah, because now I don't know about you, but when I started out, I was a parrot too. That's what I did. I heard Ferry, I heard Neil Weichel. He was like my white Michael Jordan. All these guys I heard, I wanted to mimic them. Unfortunately, some of these guys who have a different way of speaking, so they can be a little more long-winded than I can be. I'm more direct, and if I try to be long-winded, it doesn't sound right. So I just try to set people up and get them to say a word so I could take them down with an objection that I had. And that's okay to do that, but you have to get to the next level, which is having your own voice. It's nice what me and Colton say. We put that out there so you can have it, because what we saw, this sucked. So I want to make videos not for any purpose of making money, but just to show you, like, here's how, when a seller talks to you, here's what you say, here's an actual takedown, this is what you say when they say this. But you know, over the course of time, even in the last video I made, I think it was probably 3 years old, and even that video, I've gotten so much better than what I am now. Now it's more conversation. I don't have to worry about the framework. I know the questions I need to ask. I still have them in front of me every time I call. I think it's a good thing to have them there. I don't have to look at them. I just feel better that they're around me.
How much do you think it plays in with prospecting, the culture of the community, and how they're, you know, how they react? You know, it seems to me like East Coast people are a lot more direct and short-winded and to the point, whereas you get to California and they're like, let's go chill on the beach, bro, and smoke a bowl while we talk about selling my house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And even down south, they're even more they're more friendly. That southern hospitality. They'll talk to you for an hour on the phone and be grateful that you called. You still won't get the appointment, but they'll talk to you for an hour. People up in the East Coast, it's just you basically have a New York minute to get your sentence in. Like, you know, what's going on? Your home didn't sell. It's either click or what? What do you want? And then you got to deal with that attitude.
Well, that's what I get. A lot of people call me and say, hey, so-and-so's method doesn't work for me. It doesn't fit. Well, it's like,
you have to find someone that does, right?
Yeah, it's not you. They're in a different market, a different mentality, a different culture.
Different person.
Yeah. And so I think you can watch the videos, you can go to these trainings, but ultimately you've got to adapt and just be a genuine conversational person.
Yeah, you got to you want to talk to them like you're talking to a friend. It sounds easy for us because we've been doing it for so while and we're comfortable with our scripts. Most people that don't call, that you asked me earlier, I'm going to go back around, just coming back around to that now, is a lot of times everyone wants to work. Everyone wants to make money. When people call me, want to be coached, or just call me and ask questions, they want to do what we do. They just don't know how to do it. And you can tell them to do it and you can give them the scripts, but if they don't put the time to study that, they'll never get to that point. So the first stage of making these calls is learning the scripts, practicing them, getting your butt kicked on the phone, and then you come back and say, hey, they said this to me, what do I say that? Most clients that I have that do well will go out and make calls, even if they don't know what they're doing. They'll read the scripts that they choose. They'll come back and say, this guy said this, this, and this. And I'll say, okay, next time you say that, that, and that. And then they go through another round of calls, and it's this trial and error, but that's the best way to do it. A lot of colleges do that too. They have like work orders, so you for one semester you do book learning in school, and then another semester you actually are in a company doing work, right? Yeah. Northeastern, up where I'm at, that's all they do, work study program, I think it's called. It's the same concept. Like, that's the best way, at least for me, to learn.
I just posted a video, don't be afraid to be wrong, right? And the idea of it is, and the last 2 videos I made, the one was always getting ready to get ready,
right?
And people are so afraid to be wrong, they just
get my phone ready, get my jacket ready, put my suit on, my pencils ready.
Oh
wait, it's 5 o'clock, time to go home.
Website. Oh, I've got lunch with the title company, right? Don't forget that. And so they never actually just start making calls, and that's how I learned. I know you did too. You made the calls, you embarrassed yourself, you failed miserably, and then you wrote notes. Hey, this is what I was doing wrong.
Yeah, I actually started door knocking. I didn't even make calls. I didn't even get. I started doing expired door knocks, and then my friend was in Ferry and goes, "You make calls." I'm like, dude. After 2 years, I'm like, why didn't I think of this? I can hit more people on the things. But then everyone started doing it. Yeah. And now everyone does it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a whole new genre now, but it's always evolving.
Here's a question. When you hit a customer, a prospect, and they say, hey, you're the 25th agent to call me today.
Yep.
How do you respond to that?
I say, I'm not surprised. We're all seeing, I always say, we're all seeing the same thing. It's a beautiful house. Why didn't it sell? I just make it more about them, right?
Yeah.
You all sound alike. You're like the 25th guy. Well, we all sound alike because we're all seeing the same thing. It's a gorgeous house. What happened here? Why didn't this thing sell?
Yeah. So how I typically handle that is I say, yeah, usually most people tell me that before they hire me. And then I just continue forward with the script. And
anything, it doesn't matter what you say, as long as you say something and then go on.
One thing I learned about from Fearless Agent and Bob Leffler is when they're talking to you, this is what you hear. Wah, 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 wah.
Charlie Brown.
Yeah, because if you pay attention to what they say, they'll actually sell you on why they can't meet with you. Right. You just can't let that in your brain.
Yeah, it's like Boiler Room, Ben Affleck. Every sales call, someone gets sold. Either you get sold on why they should have your business, or they sell you on why you shouldn't go down now.
So we're getting almost to a 20-minute video, which I don't mind.
I can make 20-minute videos. I have my account lets me make as long as I want now.
Yeah, when you're superstars, when you're Mr. Sold, you get 20-minute video space.
YouTube, not check to me.
So
they don't want to see the gun show.
Would be the question.
I didn't even bring a permit for these. In Utah, I don't know if I carry these guns across state lines.
You have to have concealed permit. Well, I guess you're open.
And these are lethal weapons. I had to register them. I don't know where do I go to register these.
He barely made it through TSA coming in. Here would be, I think, the final question. What advice would you give a brand new agent? Because you get probably more calls and messages than I do from agents, typically newer agents,
right,
less producing agents. What advice would you give them to start with immediately?
I always say get in coaching, whether it's me, it's you, or anybody else. Get to someone who can start coaching you, because it's one thing to do what I did and take 14 years to figure this path out, or you can get to a coach and figure out in 1 or 2. I mean, it just cuts your learning curve down.
1 or 2 years?
Well, yeah, if you have the, well, I mean, not going to get to our level in 1 or 2 years, but you're going to get to that path where you start making money.
Well, that's what I want to hear, because I think a lot of people will join with like Fearless Agent or even any other coaching program, and it's like they think, oh, I paid for coaching, I'm going to make $100,000 in the first month.
And that can happen, but most 9 out of 10 times it won't happen. You know, it's a progression. I tell people all the time, you make the calls. Here's a progression for making calls, just so you guys know. You make calls, you get no appointments. You get frustrated. You make calls, you get some appointments, you don't get any listings. You make calls, you get some appointments, you go on listings, but you don't get them. You make calls, you get appointments, you go on listings, and you get them, but they don't sell. Then the last one is you make calls, you get appointments, you go on them, you list them, and they sell, and you get the check. But that's baby steps through the thing. Now, any one of those can be mixed up at any given time, and I'm not saying that every call you get, you're not going to get, listing you're going to get, but the chances get greater as you get longer in coaching, more and more coaching. Same thing with weightlifting. The more you work out, the more weight you can press.
So
right?
it's an A to Z, but it's like you can go to A to Z trying to figure it out yourself, or you can go A to Z with a proven system, a proven model to help you get to point B, point C, point D quicker then.
Yeah, I mean, coaching's number one. Number two is get on the phone and get embarrassed. You're going to make phone calls. Who cares what you say, what you don't say? Just get on there and understand that you're going to get told no a million times. And don't get frustrated. I get told no every day. I mean, I'm lucky to get one appointment. In this market, I'm lucky to get one appointment a day now. I'm getting like one every other day or every third day. It's not like, I'm not up here superstar saying I do 500 deals a year. I don't. I wish I did. I'm sure you do too. But the reality of these calls is they're hard work. But the income that you generate, number one, you make good money. Number two, you can control your schedule. So if you have a family and you want to be home, you know, you have your wife stay home.
Yeah.
I'm going to divorce, but my wife never worked when I was working the whole time. She stayed home and helped raise our kids. Like we talked about the daycare thing. It's important.
Yeah.
So this kind of work you put in now is for that later on. Get a good system to call, get some scripts, and just get on the phone and start doing it.
Well, and that's what I try to tell all these agents. Go to work and don't be afraid to be wrong. And don't be afraid to fail, because you're going to have 99% failure rate to get the 1% success, right? I mean, you just have to fail a lot to succeed.
What? Say it again? Sorry, my text just came out. I was trying to read that.
You have to fail a lot to succeed.
Yeah, right? Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you got. I mean, I'm just to get told no. I mean, like, I've been on plenty of listings where now I don't even really get told no. They pretty much just say, like, I'll let you know, but I know it's pretty much a no. And typically when I go on a listing appointment, it's not that they're going to list. If I don't get it, they list someone else. They pretty much know the price. They just don't want to sell for that price.
Yeah.
I make a pretty strong case about money. You know what I mean? Like, here it is and here's why.
Yeah. Well, so here's, I forgot what I was going to say. What I was going to say is a lot of people know me as the successful dude with FSBOs, right? That's what.
Yeah, everyone knows you. Yeah, I get stereotyped everywhere I go.
Yeah, and what's funny is I probably done, like I told you, 3 or 4 FSBOs all this year, whereas 2 years ago I did 30-something FSBOs in a year.
Well, when we started role playing, like you were mainly doing FSBOs.
Mainly FSBOs, yeah.
I started giving you some more insight on expireds, and you gave me a lot more insight on for sale by owners, because I never liked them.
Well, here's the challenge, and you're probably seeing this in your market. I've set an appointment with a for sale by owner, and by the time I get there a day or two later, they've already sold or gone under contract. Right. In this type, it's a low inventory market. It's not a hot market. It's just a low inventory market that creates this fallacy of a hot market.
Right.
So
short-term sellers market.
Yeah, absolutely. So the moral of the story is get a coach. Contact Deric. He does a lot of one-on-one coaching. Get in touch with me and Fearless Agent and Winning Dinner Game. We'd love to help you out. Second is start memorizing and studying the scripts. Yeah. The dialogue.
Role play. Anywhere you go to Google Hangouts. You can go like all these different. Your website, get guys. Fearless Agent always has people looking for role play partners.
Yeah, and the third is get on the freaking phones and go to work. Go knock doors. Go talk to
whatever. Get told no a million times.
Go to the grocery store and talk to everyone there. Just talk to people. right?
Yeah, just get to know. Yeah, but I mean, if you guys are looking for immediate business, this expired for sale by owners. That's what's out there now. These are people waving their hands saying, hey, I want to sell. Just either I don't want to pay you or my last agent sucked.
I don't know if this kid that's been joined us with Fearless Agent. He's 20 years old.
Yep.
He's in New Jersey. Gary Zaldana. He sent me a text message late last night. He's like, it's so cool. I just took a listing from a cold call. He was just doing cold calls. 20 years old. He's taken a listing probably every other week at 20, which was crazy. And all he did was join a coaching program and start making the calls.
Dude, I got some people from these videos will call me and say, even if they don't ask for coaching, they'll say stuff like, dude, I just want to thank you for these videos.
Yeah.
Because of this video, I actually got back to work. I used your scripts. I got listings, and I was able to make enough money to stop my foreclosure on my house. And I hear that, I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. You know what I mean?
That's why I actually like the coaching side of this business a lot more. You help people at a greater level.
Yeah.
Well, you help buyers and sellers, but to see someone stay in the business and get out of bankruptcy and foreclosure to start generating six-figure incomes is cool.
Yeah. Just help them, and you take these tools with you wherever you go. It's not just you take these tools and you use them for 6 months. These are the rest of life. Whether you're selling real estate or you're always selling yourself, whether you're trying to get a job, whatever you're doing, these are solid tools for life. Right? I've used these on my girlfriend and my wife before, like the objection handling stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you have too.
I completely understand. Yeah. I mean, I understand that the dishes didn't get done. I understand that.
Yeah, my wife when we first got together, she was like saying like she didn't want to. I was like, you should move in with me, and I was trying to get her to come in. And she's like, I don't know, and I was like, well, other than not knowing, what other reason would stop you from moving in?
Yeah.
Right. Just try to break it down to the bare minimum. So I mean,
what's the drawback?
What's the drawback? Right. I know I'm not that good looking. I get that.
Is it because you hate me, or what is it?
Yeah. What is it? Right. Exactly.
I hate you. I mean, we got to start. It's a big commitment to move forward.
I told her when I first met her, she's the hottest 8 in here in the club. She didn't like it. The hottest 8 in here.
Who do you think lies more, men or women?
I don't know. Probably women.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Be honest.
I don't know. I mean, I think women lie about like buying shoes and stuff, and like guys just like lie over stupid stuff. Like, no, I was at.
I wasn't drinking a beer.
I wasn't drinking a beer.
Yeah, it got bad at my place. I used to actually have a refrigerator in the garage. When I come home, if I had a couple of beers, I don't want her to know. I'd grab a beer on my fridge and walk in. I'm like, what? You just had the sip. That's not good. All right. So that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. So call Colton. Call me. Whatever you need for help, coaching, or call whoever you want. But
make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yours is Deric Lipski, Mr. Sold.
Yeah. Yep.
And subscribe to mine, Winning the Inner Game. Go to my website, get on my email list, the Winner Circle. Send us any questions you guys have.
Yeah, we'll put links on here so you guys will be able to click on these little links here somewhere. We'll put them in.
Click.
Boom. All right, man.
Okay. Hey,
All
thanks.
Right. All right, brother. Later.